Today I'm watching Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Season 1, Episode 5. In the previous episode, we saw Galadriel and Míriel had kind of teamed up and are heading back to Middle-earth, or that's the plan. They convinced Míriel's people on this island to basically go as her protection, but I think it's also going to do double duty as the army that Galadriel wants to fight Sauron, who we know is out there and, lurking in the background. We didn't have Nori in the previous episode, but I'm assuming they're still on their migration. The orcs know that Theo has this sword, and obviously no, he's headed for the Elven Tower, so that's where they're going. They told Adar, and I feel like that's maybe what's going to happen in this episode, if not the next episode. It definitely felt like they were not going to waste time, and I'm assuming they're going to attack when it's dark, because that's, the light is not something they can really tolerate. Elrond found out what the dwarves were hiding, and they had this mine collapse. They found this new mineral that's super strong that they can use for weapons, but after the mine collapse, Durian's dad told him basically to shut it down, and then we had a little father-son moment where, it basically said, I forgive you, like, we're going to disagree on some things, but at the end of the day, they're still father and son. I'm assuming Halbrand is going to stay on the island. He didn't really seem interested in going back to Middle-earth. They had kind of made that agreement, like, just get me out of this jail cell, basically, and we can part ways. Like, it don't really need to be involved, although Galadriel does suspect that he's this king from the Southlands, so probably wants to keep that alliance. But now that she is Míriel, who knows? I'm not sure, where his character is going to go. We know Adar had that message basically saying, pledge allegiance to me or we're coming for you. And that is, I think, definitely, about to happen. So I am assuming a little bit more action in this episode, especially now that we're getting into the later half of the season. There's only 8 episodes. So I'm very curious to see where we're going to go. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Kid.
Needs to make something dead.
Yeah, I had assumed this migration would be dangerous, especially given their, size, and that everything would be terrifying.
You're good.
I'm good.
Aww.
Because you're here to help.
Nori's just the ultimate cheerleader. She believes the best in everybody.
No longer my home, past eyes of pale fire.
It does seem like they're very separated from the group, but at least they're together still. Yeah, and I'm a sucker for these wide landscape shots every time. And again, it just reminds me of the original Lord of the Rings. We'd have those beautiful shots. Oh no. Oh gosh. And the little footprints on the map as well is amazing. Just to see how far they are really going, and the different, climates and, environments they have to navigate. Never a good sign when we have the ominous chanting in the background. Okay, what are these guys up to? Okay, he was cut with the sword. Yeah.
How does it feel? Like fire.
Yeah, I think it's still burning.
I wish you could feel.
Oh.
I shall listen.
Is he gonna turn himself into an orc?
The symbol of our strength. Who will stand with me?
I don't think they have a lot of options, to be honest. They can't go back to their homes.
Stand and fight.
I don't think they are really trained soldiers. They seem just like everyday people, but again, I don't think they have a lot of options.
Follow me, and together we will.
Great, now they're divided with the crazy man. Oh my gosh.
Deal. It's our chance. It's our time.
He's not gonna leave his mom.
Father.
Yes, you do.
May we speak?
And I love like the ship design and how the color blue is so relevant, like on the ships and their outfits. Everything is so tied in together.
Finding ways to contribute, to serve. Something for which you evidently care little.
I don't think it's that. I think he just is a bit of a dreamer and got caught up with this west side of the island. Oh, he finally got a job? Okay, he's like, let me show you what I can do. Yeah. It's a nice looking sword.
Thanks, Lord Halbrand. I'm certain your fellowship will prove just as invaluable once we make landfall.
He's like, I'm not going with you. I enjoy my life here.
Your father has requested your presence in the tower.
Yeah, Galadriel knows that if he is, in fact, the king, like she suspects him to be, then obviously he's a pretty important ally.
Crown upon your head. Many might assume you used me.
Yeah, she's like, you're getting the better deal out of all this, but maybe he doesn't want to go back. Like,
Find another head to crown.
yeah, it seems like he's not interested. He wants to hide away on the island. Oh god, are those wolves? Something's out there. Yep. Oh my god, I was just about to be like, there's nothing there! But and then they frickin' got me. Oh, cheese and rice. Oh my god, they're trapped! Oh! Oh, that works too. Oh my god, there's 3 of them! Whoa! Oh, okay, that'll do it. Cheese and rice. We knew he was powerful, yeah. Just smashes the ground. Accepted this robe now, but it very much matches into the Harfoot, like they incorporate nature into their— oh, his wrist. It doesn't strike me that he would get hurt also, but—
You, I will keep it strong and simple. Stab, twist, gut.
the old 1-2 punch. Those are some big swings. Yeah, he's going for blood for sure. Bye! Good try. Thanks for coming out. I feel like she could do this in her sleep. Like, she's so much centuries of experience. Even when it's like 5-on-1, she's still kicking their butts. Yeah. She's like, let me show you how it's done.
Don't plant roots.
Oh, the slow-mo. I love that slow-mo shot we had earlier, too, with her on the horse.
Never trust brute force to best an orc.
Yeah, orcs are definitely strong. That's not really gonna be what's taking them down.
Forests, trade, tribute. I wouldn't dare stop that, not for all the salt in the sea.
Yeah, we still very much have this, like, they still don't accept the elves, obviously. Like, they don't agree with what Míriel's doing, but, like you said, he's doing this for his own reasons, and I'm sure a lot of people who have agreed to go along are doing it for their own reasons.
Danger is past, Father. We are doing now what you always believed we must.
Is he warning her, or does he just want her to stay?
Darkness.
But we know if she stays, or at least she assumes if she stays, that this giant, tidal wave is going to come and destroy the island.
I've seen him take a shine to an outsider like this before.
Oh, his arm. Oh.
Lather some on that paw should help with the tenderness.
What? That's so cool.
Terni Kalla.
Yeah, I feel like he can heal himself.
Hey,
Or he's turning himself to ice? What is he doing? And now, of course, Nori is attached into it. And he's in a trance. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Oh my gosh, poor Nori. And he definitely saw something that reminds me of Sauron, so... How are they connected? I wonder if Nori saw it too, because they were touching at the time.
Its warriors expanding its cities. Bit sudden for elves, no?
Yeah, I think these two are both in like a fact-finding mission.
Just to decide to take her.
If I may. To be offended by an honest inquiry.
I have an honest inquiry for you.
Yeah, he doesn't trust this guy at all.
To our honored dead.
He's like, do you care to explain how you got this and why you're using it as a kitchen table?
To the union of our two peoples, then.
To the Union.
Yeah, I still don't feel like this is a smooth sailing. Like, I still feel like this is a trial run. Durian and Elrond obviously are getting along, but that doesn't mean everybody else is going to accept him.
Does it justify lying to your king?
I wonder, High King, if it is in fact you who has been lying to me.
Take that. She's like, I'll just take my things and
I
go.
went to Khazad-dûm with a proposal of friendship, but in truth, you sought something far more tangible.
Yeah, he's caught on to the plan now.
Destroy it. Amidst their dual, unending, lightning ensnared the tree.
That's such a cool frame. Yeah, and the way they're explaining like the backstory.
They say it seeped down the roots into the mountain depths, where for centuries now, it has waited.
Yeah, this literal like good versus evil.
The dwarves did find it, the ore containing the light of the lost Silmaril.
I admit only this.
Oh, that's what that is too? Okay.
And what if keeping your promise to his people meant ensuring the doom of your own?
What would they need it for? Yeah, I'm curious. But that's interesting that we got to see that little backstory about how these trees are so important. And that's what the ore is, you know, so significant as well. I feel like there was a similar scene with this tree in, I want to say like the Fellowship of the Ring or possibly Return of the King movie. I feel like there was like a ceremony.
Last vestiges of war, we might arrest the decay. But despite our every
Oh no, the tree is rotting.
climb has only quickened.
Oh yeah, we did see that leaf fall in the first...
Light is fading.
Who else knows about this?
And they're hoping the ore could bring it back.
For the last time. Did the dwarves find the ore or not?
But he promised.
Are bound. I do not intend to let mine slip away on the basis of mere hope.
Yeah, there's no guarantee it would fix it.
Reason enough to make you reconsider your oath. I suggest you find another.
Yeah, I understand why he wants to be loyal to Durian, obviously. Like, that was a big secret to keep. And I'm curious to see if he explains to Durian how important this is and how they might be able to use it. And obviously he has an example with him. Is he willing to risk losing, you know, his entire species, basically, of elves and over this promise to his friend? And again, the themes of friendship coming into play with this series.
Apologising because you think, now that I've been promoted, I can get you on the expedition.
Yeah, I feel like this is exactly what's about to happen.
Fine, you get a free hit. Jaw, gut, your choice, one hit.
I feel like they're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, they were obviously very upset they got kicked out of the Sea Guard.
Actually,
Oh.
Beauty that you might well decide.
it'll be different this time.
one day I hope it will be.
Yeah, I don't think he's willing to take that risk.
He's always right.
Yeah, he's gonna sneak on board. There's no way he's letting this go without him. Oh, okay, it's not who I thought it was at all. He's gonna set the ships on fire? Oh, shoot. There it is. I knew he was sneaking on board.
Stowing away.
You just about set on fire there, champ. Yep, saw that coming. Okay. Now you both have to run. Oh my gosh. So close. Oh man. Oh, he walked into that thing. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Gather every hand! Hurry! Get them out! Quickly!
Cheese and rice. Oh, thank God. Oh, I was so worried.
He saved my life. He could have just left, but he saved my life.
Yeah, he gets points for that. Even though that guy went on to set the boats on fire, but still saved him.
Kingdom should be led, not dragged. I recommend we delay the voyage until we've had time enough to win more hearts.
Of course, that's what he wants to do.
Shall I tell the sea god to stand down?
She can't give up. I know, like, obviously the animosity between humans.
You knew. I begged him to allow you into our confidence from the start, but the High King forbade it.
Yeah, they sent Elrond in there as to find out on this mission, basically. And he had no idea.
And yes. Yes. It very well could be.
But then what does that mean for the dwarves? Like, is he going to lose his friendship with Durian? They had these plans of their own. And he said it was a very intense, you know, mission to mine this stuff.
Because he was the only one who could do it.
I feel like that's a bit manipulative. Like, they know how much Elrond's father means to him and this legacy and memory. So being like, well, your dad did something similar, so now it's your turn. They've just been using him, and he's been trying his best.
You don't know what I did before I ended up on that raft.
Yeah, that's why I'm very curious. Like, we know he was about to be exiled, but
You don't know how I survived.
we don't know much about his backstory at all, other than he's the supposed king of the Southlands.
We all survived.
They pledged fealty to Adar and the orcs.
And when these people discover it, they will cast me out.
Oh, shoot.
Sometimes to find the light, we must first touch the darkness.
He's like, oh, I've touched it. Trust me.
In a place of darkness and despair. By servants of Sauron, is that enough for you?
Oh, so this is about vengeance.
One cannot satisfy.
Oh, the whole time.
The least you can do is tell me why. Why do you keep fighting?
Because I cannot stop.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything else. She's been so steadfast on this mission. It's all she knows is just to keep going and keep going. She's made it her whole personality, her whole life.
To earn mine. This is how you earn yours.
Yeah, I don't know what peace he's gonna find if he goes back. I mean, obviously that was, he's made some enemies, so... And she has to see this through. Like, she's come so far, she's not gonna walk away now, and she's not gonna let this guy stand in the way.
I pledge my loyalty to Sauron.
That's a bold claim. That's a bold claim he's making in front of literally everybody.
You are Sauron, are you not?
Oh, God! Yeah, we know him as Adar, but they said he had many names, so maybe he is. Obviously, he's working with the orcs, and we know Sauron worked with the orcs a lot.
Blood combined
You want to serve me? This is what you gotta do. Oh my gosh, this poor kid should have stayed in the tower.
Baldric.
My heart. I think he's already on the dark side. Yeah, I think he's gonna do it. Oh my god, what a time to cut. Of course, to Theo.
Half of us just left.
But half stayed. Including you.
Yeah, these are the people he's spent the most time with. Like he said, he was on patrol for like 79 years, so he's familiar with these people, obviously. And we know him and Bronwyn have this like pseudo-romance going, so I feel like these people have become his...
There's something you don't know.
Tell somebody, please. You gotta tell somebody about this sword. Oh, thank you.
I've seen this before.
I think he's gonna realize what it is and hopefully get rid of it. There's another sword? Yes, exactly. What's this?
As much as certain. Our enemy knows your son has what he needs to enact it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're in trouble.
There is one.
No!
What? She's gonna bring it back to them? No, come on.
There must be another way.
Name it. I beg you.
They'll still attack. Like, there's no way they're gonna just let them go. Like, they want this thing, but they also have that huge tunnel system.
When Morgoth was at war, whole continents sank. Who is to say what horrors this might unleash?
Yeah, what is it a key for, basically? Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna wait much longer. Oh, God. So many of them. Visually such a cool shot though, especially with their torches. Yeah, and leading up to this tower.
You made it up, didn't you?
He just wanted the table. That's funny.
Beard! Enough with the quail sauce! Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
Pardon me, sir. Hardly know you.
But I came for Míriel.
Dorian had obviously suspected this, but at least Elrond's being honest now.
Until we are but shadows, swept away by the tides of time.
Yeah, they need that tree, obviously, and the light.
So the fate of the entire elven race is in my hands.
Yeah, no pressure, no pressure.
Whose hands?
I think he likes the power just a tiny bit. I feel like he's gonna help them, but he still wants his moment in the sun, obviously, and will probably bargain for some things other than a table.
Sour stomach.
Under one condition. Tell Disa the table's from me.
Don't push your luck, Elf.
And that's such a great shot of them walking in the trees, and I knew Durian was gonna help. He's very compassionate. Oh, they did let him go? Okay, interesting.
Thought I was in cavalry.
You are. Stable sweep.
So you never said what you had to do on board. We got you a spot on the ship. Enjoy shoveling horse poop. Oh, his friends are enjoying this too much. She's like, finally, back where I'm supposed to be, leading a charge, ships, an army, heading back to Middle-earth to finally see this through.
For Middle-earth.
And the music is just perfect for this, like, sweeping scene. I like the excitement of heading out on this giant journey and, you know, like the preparation and the ceremony behind it. These two at the helm. So that was my first time watching Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Season 1, Episode 5. It still felt kind of like a halfway episode. Like, it wasn't a bad episode at all. I still feel like, okay, things are moving. Like, let's kind of, you know, move some things along at this point, especially with only being 8 episodes. I'm worried as we get, especially, you know, Episode 7 or Episode 8, is it just going to be non-stop, you know, craziness? Are they going to push some things to Season 2? I definitely feel like, okay, things were established, and then things were, you know, kind of established in the last episode. So I don't think they're like dragging their feet. I just thought things would have progressed. Like, I thought the orcs would have attacked the tower, you know, in this episode. The way they ended it in the previous episode was like, okay, they know what they're gonna do, and now in this episode they're still thinking about it and they're still planning. And obviously we saw that half the people from the tower went to pledge fealty to the orcs, and the other half decided to stay and fight with Bronwyn. I'm glad Theo finally told somebody, and that Bronwyn, you know, his mom finally knows what this thing is, or not even what it is, but that they have it basically, and that's what the orcs and Adar are looking for. And I thought it was a sword, but it seems to shift into whatever they need it to be, if that makes sense. Like, it shifts into a sword when, you know, Theo's in trouble and he's able to fight, but then when they held it again, it was just back to a normal kind of like broken piece, and they mention it's a key. So I'm curious as to what that's gonna do. I imagine it's a key to unlock something, you know, evil. And even, you know, when they reveal from the vines that statue and that there's a sword there as well. So yeah, I'm very curious to see. Again, I'm not an expert in Lord of the Rings lore. I have seen the films and I really enjoy them, but yeah, I'm very curious to see how this is all gonna tie together. We did have the shot of the orcs finally, you know, marching along with their torches on their way to the tower. Night has fallen, and I don't think Theo's friend made it. You know, that was a very grim situation, and that guy basically being, you know, it kind of reminded me of Peter Pettigrew from Harry Potter, just kind of this like desperate rat-like creature, you know, rolling on the ground, being like, I'll do anything, like, I'll pledge fealty, you know, like, I want to be on your team, guys, like, let me play. And then Adar, you know, throws him the sword and says, okay, you want to be on my team? Like, our team is blood, basically. So here you go, pick up the sword and kill this kid, which is just so horrible. I'm glad they didn't show it, but they cut away, and I feel like it's strongly implied as to what, you know, was going to happen and what this guy was going to do. He wasn't really objecting. The kid was terrified, but I feel like when we had the flashback from Halbrand being, you know, very ominous of like, you don't know what I did, it cut to the scene of them pledging fealty. I thought that's what Halbrand had done, was pledge fealty to the orcs when he's like, you don't know what I did to survive, like, you don't know what I've been through, basically, you don't know how I got here. And we don't know a ton of his backstory. I mean, we slowly have a few pieces, but not, you know, an entire picture in any sense. And they had that flash of Sauron as well, or that red, you know, eye thing came up. So to me, that's what that means. So I'm very curious just to find out how that falls into play, and if that's just like a symbol for evil in general, like he had to do something horrible. And, you know, when they pledged fealty, I was thinking, okay, he led his people to pledge fealty to the orcs, and that's how they were able to survive. But I don't think the orcs would let anybody escape. So, and we know he's kind of lied before, so I don't really trust what he's saying. But, you know, he picked up that pouch that symbolizes that he's, you know, the king of the Southlands, and gets on the ship with Galadriel, and away they go. And that was such an epic way to end the episode, with, you know, this great music in the background, and to see these, you know, even though 2 ships were destroyed, they still have their 3, and to head off, and Galadriel's just got this big, you know, proud face of just so excited to be on her way and in her armor again. Like, this is where she's meant to be, leading these troops and heading off to, you know, back to Middle Earth to finally finish this thing that she set out to do, or, you know, at least take some more steps in the right direction. She knows that the orcs are out there. She has confirmation from Halbrand now, so she's been dying to go and like literally get back out there. So at least they're on their way. And I don't know how many people from this island would have ever gone to Middle-earth. It seems like a big adventure, and it seems like it's going to be a long journey. So, yeah, I don't know if they'll make it there in the next episode, what that's going to look like, if it'll be, 2 episodes later, but at least she's on her way and not by herself. I was very worried what that was going to look like because, she fully admits to Halbrand that her team, mutinied basically, and she was on her own, and, they didn't know how to separate her from this danger that she was getting into, and she fully admits that she doesn't know how to stop. Like, she is in a weird way addicted to this and doesn't really know how to separate herself, especially after centuries. Like, I know the elves live a very, very long time, but still, like, she doesn't know how to, her brother's been dead for so long now, she hasn't moved on. And her instincts were right. Obviously, something evil is still out there, and I think that's just fueling her need to, see this through to continue. So, yeah, she's back in action. They're heading back. But again, I still don't really trust Halbrand and the fact that they're standing next to each other, kind of at the same stature. I'm curious to see where that's going to go, and that he was so hesitant to go back. But his word is what kind of sealed the deal for them to continue on. We have Nori and this migration again in this episode, and, this creature that she's with saves them from these wolves by just like slamming his fist into the ground, which was interesting. We have seen him use his powers before, but they kind of seemed unfiltered, like he couldn't really control them, and he is learning to communicate better, which is great. But this, he deliberately took his hand and smashed it into the ground and, got rid of the wolves for them. But then to see him put his arm, literally in ice or turn the water to ice to try and heal. I assumed he'd be able to heal himself. Again, we don't really know much about him, but it seems like he has these abilities, so I thought that he'd be able to. And when Nori touched him, again, there was that flash. So, yeah, I'm very curious as to what that means, if she saw what he saw, if, she's kind of like questioning what is this thing, and she does tell him that he's good, and it almost reminds me of the monster from Frankenstein, this thing who is brought to life, doesn't really know what he is, doesn't really know what he's doing, is very strong, but is kind of lost, but at least Nori is here to kind of be his mentor and guide him and say, like, no, you're good, like, we have a very, intense journey, and we had that beautiful sequence with the song and the map as they traveled through, and all these swamps and all these landscapes that they have to travel, and she mentions they followed this for the food and all of these things. But it was just a great visual way to show that journey, especially as an audience member. You get to see the scope of it because it seems like such a far way to go, and we're reminded again of how small they are and how everything would be scary. She lists all the things that they could encounter that could possibly kill them. It does seem like they are quite separated from the group. It seems like the group is far ahead, but obviously this is a path that they've taken many times so that they know the trail and they know where to go. And I don't want to see them get left behind, but obviously that, they put them at the back of the pack as like a punishment to basically say, okay, if you fall behind, you're on your own. There's nobody else behind you. We learn what's so important about this ore, and that, everybody's suspicions were correct, that Elrond was kind of sent on this fact-finding spy mission, even though he had no idea, and, is trying to just repair his relationship with Durian, and, obviously went in to find out about that they could build the tower, but had no idea that this ore was being mined, and the king and also his mentor kind of, sent him in to do their dirty work, and nobody knows that this tree is, dying. We did see that one leaf fall in, I think, the first episode pretty early on, but they hadn't really mentioned it since, and clearly you can see this tree is rotting, and they've tried everything, but of course Durian is going to help. So I'd hope that this would solidify the, relationship between the elves and the dwarves. If the entire elven species was about to be, destroyed completely, it's like, well, we have to leave by spring or we're going to die. Like, our immortal souls are just going to fade away. Durian's not going to let that happen, obviously. Like, things with him and Elrond haven't been the best, but he's not just going to let an entire, species of elves be taken out. Like, that's insanely cruel, especially if he has the option to help them. It was funny to see him take the table just because he could, and they didn't know the difference. They didn't know he was lying, obviously, and, Durian kind of playing it up. Like, he's very, charismatic and, kind of pokes fun at Elrond, and they have a good back and forth, so I wasn't surprised he was going to help them, but now he says he has to convince his dad, and I can't see his dad saying no, but again, we'll see. And they did mention that mining this ore is very, you know, intense, and that, you know, the mine collapsed last time they were in there, and it sounds like they need a significant quantity of it and quickly. So hopefully they're able to fix that situation. Overall, I thought it was a decent episode. I'm hoping things kind of pick up in the next episode. We've laid the groundwork. Like, you know, it's been great to learn backstory of the tree and kind of how important that is and how it was forged with this lightning, and, you know, the literal battle of good and evil is kind of what created it. And again, I know we've got multiple storylines going on with multiple characters, but I'm just like, okay, I feel like all of them have just been, you know, teetering on the edge of something big. And yeah, Nori with the migration, but she does seem to be distancing herself from the creature now after that incident with, you know, his arm or the ice. And finally, you know, Theo told somebody that he has this key, and what does the key unlock? The orcs are definitely on their way to the tower. Are they going to be able to hold the tower? You know, it does seem pretty perilous. I don't have much hope for them. They're going to be greatly outnumbered. Galadriel is finally on her way to Middle-earth with Hallbrand, and yeah, I'm not expecting them to arrive on the shores in the next episode, but they're definitely on their way, so I'm kind of anticipating that's more of like a season finale episode, but please no spoilers. I'm really enjoying this series so far, so thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. It's never a good sign when we have the ominous chanting in the background. Okay, what are these guys up to? I don't think they are really, like, trained soldiers. They seem just like everyday people, but again, I don't think they have a lot of options. It's a nice looking sword. Yeah, I feel like he can heal himself, even though the guy went on to set the boats on fire, but still saved him. Yeah, what is it a key for, basically?